So let's talk about the comp plan and specific parts about the comp plan. This is not a session where we're going to go into a whole comp plan because we don't have the time or really the need for it. There's other places you can find the whole comp plan. But we want to talk about a specific part of the comp plan, and that is how you make the big money. In other words, there's a part of the comp plan called the generational power bonus. Call it GPB for short. But the generational power bonus is unique to LifeForce. It was designed specifically for us, by us. And what it is a way to, as an advanced, in an advanced position, for example, a 3-star, 1-star diamond, or a crown diamond, this is a very, very powerful bonus. And I want to talk about it specifically because we have somebody who's about to go 3-star, so they're asking about it. So let's talk about how that works. Well, we can start out by looking at the fact that in LifeForce, you have the opportunity to get paid every month on everybody in the company. Your upline, your downline, your sideline, crossline, all of it. And it really comes into focus when you hit Star Diamond. Because at 1-star diamond, you take part in what we call the GPB, and it's a generational power bonus. And the generational power bonus is a pool of 12% of the entire company's worldwide revenues. Okay? So it's a pretty substantial amount of money, and it's divided up between the people, again, who are 1-star and above. 1-star to RCD, Royal Crown Diamond. Now, how that works is we take 12% of the entire company's revenues globally, you put it in a pool, and that pool is accessed by the amount of points that you earn in the pool. And it works like this. So your first diamond leg, let's call that leg number 1, you get 100% of the diamonds in that leg. Their BV counts toward your points in the pool. Okay? And your second level diamonds, you get 100%. The third level diamonds, I hope these numbers are right. The third level diamond, it goes down, I believe, to 80 or 75%, and it's the same, you get 80. And then when you have diamonds below that, I believe it goes to 60, and it goes down to 10%. All right, so 10% you hit in a relatively short amount of time. Now, this is assuming you have diamonds under diamonds under diamonds under diamonds. These are generationals. It's a generational power bonus. Your second leg is rewarded much more handsomely because in your second leg, you get to keep this 100% down through 4 levels. And forgive me if I don't have the numbers exactly right, but the principle's right. So your second leg, and then it goes to 80, and then to 80. And the point is that you want to build wide in our plan because you're going to get paid more powerfully on your second leg than you will on your first leg. Your third leg, you're going to get even better because this 100% of their volume goes down, I believe, I want to say maybe 6 levels or something like that, and then it goes down to 80 and like so forth. Your fourth leg, your fourth diamond leg, is 100% all the way down.
Wow.
So the important thing to remember is that the more diamond legs you have, I mean, you get paid powerfully on these. All these points add up. So let's say out of all this you've got 1,000 points. Somebody else has 100 points. You're going to get paid 10 times what they get paid in the pool.
Where are the points, Michael?
Well, these are the points. So if this person has 10,000 BV, well, they'd have more because they're a diamond. Let's say they have 25,000 BV, and this is 50,000, and this is 75,000. You take 80% of the 75, you'd add it to the 25 and the 50. Those are the points. So the points, I'm using small numbers, it would be like, 100,000 points or something. So, but the point is that you get paid your share of that pool based on the number of points you accumulate through your diamond legs. So somebody who's a brand new diamond just has one leg, one leg deep, they're going to get this, which may be 25,000 points. Somebody who has, 6 or 7 legs and 1 million BV, they're clearly going to get more out of that pool, as they should.
Points are related to the BV.
Yeah, points are related to the BV, exactly. So here's the thing to know. This is all math, and you can look on the internet for all this. You want to get multiple diamond legs. Like what we say in Life Force is you build wide for income and you build deep for security. Because the wider you build, no matter if you're an A3 or a Crown Diamond, the wider you build, the more money you make. And typically the depth will take care of itself. You don't really have to worry about that. So the idea here is go wide. We've had people who are platinums make $9,000, $10,000 or more as platinums because they're wide. And people who are platinums that make, you know, a lot less, like 1 to 2,000, because they just have one person under them and all the BB's into that person, so they're blocked. So you want to go wide. Now, for example, in our checks, which are pretty big checks, half of our income comes from this pool. So there you go. It's a powerful, powerful pool. The other half of our income, well, so here I'll give you another illustration. When we started out, if this is 100% of our check, no matter whether the check's $1 or $1 million, most of our money came from the 540-10, all right? That's what we call the traditional plan. And probably for most people in Life Force, most of the money comes from the front of the plan. As your groups mature, as you have a diamond or a platinum or even a gold group, this part, which is the infinity bonus, gets bigger, right? So that gets bigger and this gets smaller, right? So you start to, you know, blur the line a little bit. As you move into the star diamond, suddenly you're getting the generational power bonus. Now at this point in our check, this part, the 540-10, is like this little sliver which you can barely measure. The vast bulk of our check comes from this, then there's a smaller slice of infinity, and then the rest of half of it comes from what we call the Crown Diamond pools, or 3-star pools. And the 3-star pool and Crown Diamond pool operate on a similar principle, but they're just for 3 stars in one pool, and just for Crown Diamonds in another pool, and they're smaller percentages of the company's volume. It's like 2%, maybe something like that, per pool. So the numbers are smaller. But if you're a Crown Diamond and there's only 1 or 2 or 3 other Crown Diamonds, that can be a lot of money. Because, you know, there's a lot of people in this pool, even though a lot of people just have 1 diamond or 2 diamonds, there's a lot of people participating in this pool. But when you get into the Crown Diamond pools, for example, at this point, there's only a few people participating in it, so the numbers can be big. Now, here's what you can expect as we move further into hypergrowth. The company we were in before went from about Life Force's size to $250 million a year in about 2 or 3 years. When we joined that company, we went from the bottom of the comp plan to the top of the comp plan, and people were amazed because we did it very fast. We did it in 1.5 years, 2 years, something like that. So the year we graduated to that sort of Crown Diamond rank, I think there were probably 6 of us that made it that year. The next year there was like 100.
Wasn't there over 100? Yeah.
I think there were 100 people that made Crown Diamond the next year because we were moving to hypergrowth. So be prepared. Right now we have maybe 6, 10, 12 Crown Diamonds in Life Force. You know, in a year or 2 or 3 we could have 200, 300, 400 Crown Diamonds, and hopefully each of you will be one of those. So be prepared that it will shift, but the principle will hold on how you get paid. So hopefully it's helpful. Any questions about any of this?
It's a little long way.
It's a bit far away from most people at this point, but you know, yours
It's a good
going
thing to
3-star
aim
here.
for. Yeah, exactly.
It's very good to know because when
Yeah,
the
it is good to
networkers
know.
look at the plan,
Yeah.
a lot of the networkers that know about network marketing need to see this bit,
Yeah.
and not so much we're so focused on the front bit,
Right.
but they need to see this
Yeah,
bit.
if they've been.
If they meet another company, they want to know how this works.
I want to talk about another part of the plan now. It's actually another plan because, as you know, we have the traditional plan, which is what I just displayed, but we also have another plan, and it's called the Dream Kit plan. And the Dream Kit, of course, is a kit of a whole bunch of samples primarily, and it's 300 BV per the kit. Now, most people, when they sign up and they get a member, they try to get 100 BV auto ship, which is, you know, it's a month's supply for most people of product. The Dream Kit is a different animal. It's for people who want to build a business. Because let's say you sign me up and I get some body balance for myself. That's pretty good. If I want to build a business, I can talk about my experience. But if I really want to aggressively build a business, wouldn't it be better to get me body balance and a whole bunch of samples to give away in building my business? I mean, it just makes sense, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm equipped. I'm ready for business because I've got all these samples. So when I start a person who's serious about the business, I'm gonna say, hey, look, get started. Give yourself the best advantage to get started. Because the Dream Kit will give you enough professional samples for us to sample between 50 and 100 people together. And they get the idea, well, of course I want to start that way. Why wouldn't I? So the other thing is that, a lot of us may be used to saying, well, gosh, it's hard enough to get somebody to buy 100 BV. How could I possibly sell 300 BV? But I just want to share that that's a mental block. That's not a real block in the world. Because if you think about it, would you say that it was extraordinary to get in the business for under $1,000? A business that can make your lifetime income for under $1,000? Pretty extraordinary, huh? Well, other people know this too. They know to get into a franchise, it's like 100,000 or more or less. I mean, it's a lot of money. So people who, for example, you ever brought your car to the garage and the mechanic presents you a bill for $500 or $1,000 and you pay it? What are you going to do? People come up with the money to pay it. Now this Dream Kit's a lot less than that. And if people want to get in business, they will find the money. Not that they don't have it, it's that they, who wants to spend it, but when it's important, like when you got to ransom back your car, you'll spend it, right? Or if some emergency happens. So people can access the money. Now this isn't about getting them to do something they don't want to do. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about them starting a business. It's an investment in their business, and it's not a franchise fee, it's professional samples to build a business. But here's the exciting part I want to share with you. This Dream Kit has its own comp plan. And the important part about that is if you are, if you're looking at, let's say you want to build a big group, and you've got 100 people in your group, which right now, a platinum would have more than 100 people. So we're not talking about big cosmic. We're saying if you have 100 people in your group and they're buying 100 BV a month, that is 10,000 BV, right? Mm-hmm. And that's platinum. So 100 people, 100 BV, platinum. Now, let's do the same thing with, if you want to go platinum and you need the 10,000 BV, instead of getting 100 people, how would it be if you got 34 people to go platinum? Yeah? Does that look a bit easier? To go platinum with 34 people instead of 100 people? It just makes sense. You're going to get, people are going to bust platinum in a month or two if they're promoting Dream Kits. See, the thing is, if I come in on a Dream Kit, how am I going to start people? On a Dream Kit. If I come in on 100 BV, how am I going to start people? On 100 BV. You guys have the opportunity to break the chain. You can break the chain. Because this is a duplication of business. If people come in on 25 BV, you know what we've seen? They bring all their friends in at 25 BV. But you can break the chain because every new person you sponsor is a new leg. They don't know what you were doing for the last year or two. They don't know all the mistakes you made. They don't know any of that. They just know you brought them in. What you tell them to do is what they're going to do. So I would strongly recommend bringing people in at the 300 BV. And if they are serious about building a business, they'll find the funds. Now look, I'm not trying to get them to do anything inappropriate. So here's the fallback. If I say, hey Vera, I got a business, I think you'd be interested, and she says, yeah, I'll take a look. She takes a look. She says, okay, I'm ready to get started. What do I need to do? I say, well, look, why don't you get started with the greatest advantage? Our business builder pack is called a Dream Kit, and it's whatever it is in this market. Pick a number, okay? So if it's and then stop. So let's say the number is $500, $600, and then stop and watch what they do. And they'll tell you. They'll go, well, okay. Or they'll go, gee, that's cheap. Or they'll go, you know what, I'd really like to do that, but I just can't do that right now. So great, we have another option. You can get a box of 8, drink 4 and use 4 for samples. Okay, yeah, I can do that. Or they'll go, you know, it's really tight, I just had to get my car to the garage. Say, great, well we have a customer option, a consumer option. You can just get started on 4 bottles for yourself, and as you go along, build your business up. And if they go, well, that's too much, then, you know, you can start them on 2 bottles, or you can just say, well, look, why don't we get together when you've got the money? Or if you know, I don't know if I'd recommend this, but it's even possible that you could say, well, look, if you really can't get any money, let's get 3 people ordering under you, and then your product will be free. You know, in other words, there's a spectrum of offerings. But you can't go from free to 25 to 50 to 100 to 300. That's not how life works for people. You can't raise prices on people. But you can start here at the 300 EV option and stop and wait and see the response. They might surprise you and go, oh yeah, I'll have that. And we don't know what their finances are. We may think we know, but we actually don't know, do we? Give them the choice, give them the dignity of choosing for themselves. And they'll tell you, no, I can't do that. Great, well, we got a 100 BB option, right? So you drop into the pricing. Now, why this is exciting for me is because, again, when you can sign up 34 people, and somebody can do that in a month or 2 or 3, then you bust in platinums, left, right, and center. You're popping platinums, and that's going to get you into those bonuses we talked about pretty quickly. And when this starts duplicating, then you really got something going. You guys get it? Now let me take it to another level. So let's say you've got this going, and you're the upline in the Dream Kit comp plan. Now the upline in the Dream Kit comp plan can be very exciting because you can make anywhere, if it's a personal sponsor, from $25, $50, but you can make up to $125 to $150 off each Dream Kit. But let's just use some round numbers. Let's say you're making $50 off each Dream Kit that moves to your group. Let's say your group is moving 100 Dream Kits a month, and you're making $50. Anybody, how much is that? $5,000 a month. Pretty nice for moving 100 kits, isn't it? Let's say that you're moving 1,000 kits a month through your group, times 50. What is that? $50,000 a month. You're moving 1,000 kits through your group a month. Now, a group that's in motion and everybody's buying these, can you see that? You want to make 50 grand a month? Now you want it to get more exciting? Make this $100. You're making $100 a kit. So if you're making $100 a kit, and you're selling 100 kits, how much is that? $10,000 a month for 100 kits moving through your group a month. Pretty exciting. You want to see the big number? You got 1,000 kits moving through your group a month, and you're making $100 a pop. How much is that?
100K.
$100,000 a month. Can you get excited about $100,000 a month?
Oh, yes.
Now look, it may not be your goal to do that, but I want you to see how possible it is. How possible it is that you can talk. You can talk to people and say, you know, you're a big roller, how does $100,000 a month sound? And this is not complicated. People can get this. People who need to make that kind of money, they'll get it. Hook them up with one of us. We'll show them how it works. But, you know, $5,000 a month moving 100 kits at $50. Guys, you can do this. You can do this. And if you can get 100 kits, you can get 1,000 kits moving through your group.
Yeah, with leverage.
Yeah. So we have the old traditional plan, which is, I would call it for part-timers, people who want to build customer base, people who maybe want a part-time. If you want to go full-time or you want to bring in full-time people, I'd be doing the Dream Kit. Because that's where the action is. That's where the action is. So any more questions on this? Anybody? Yes, Christine, please.
I was just thinking about the pack in between. It's a big drop down from 196 samples to an 8-pack.
Yeah.
And you could have an in-between pack which is an 8-pack plus a 48 sample pack.
Yeah, you can create your own custom packs,
So
yeah.
you think outside the square,
Yeah.
you don't have to just use those two.
Yeah,
You can
I would
make
actually
something
recommend
between.
you focus on this if you're serious about building a big
Absolutely.
business. Just go with this. This is highly duplicatable, the company's supporting it, and it will make a massive difference. When you can have 34 people, they go platinum, you're gonna start popping platinums, and you're gonna be very happy. Yes, Krista, did you have a,
No, I'm nodding, sorry.
Cliff, you have a comment or question?
When were we getting ready for the next presentation?
Soon.
Okay, great question. Well, we'll just wrap this up, and yeah, thanks.
Not till 5:30.